A storm is brewing and turn threatens to destroy Chad and Kat's romance. The week ahead on Days of Our Lives is set to take a dramatic and emotional turn, especially for those who have grown invested in the blossoming romance between Chad DiMera and Kat Green. While their relationship has been slowly building into something special, filled with warmth, connection, and emotional healing, an unexpected return is about to shake its very foundation. Enter Gwen Rizek, the former flame with a complicated past and an even more complicated agenda. Her surprise return to Salem will not only rattle the town but will send emotional shockwaves straight through Chad's new relationship. For fans who have seen this kind of drama unfold time and again, you already know what's coming: jealousy, suspicion, and perhaps, heartbreak. Let's break down everything we know, and explore why Gwen's presence could spell the end for Chad and Kat. Broken heart. Chad and Kat, a relationship on fragile ground. Over the past few weeks, viewers have watched Chad DiMera open his heart again. Following the tragic loss of his wife Abigail, many wondered if Chad would ever allow himself to love again. Then came Kat Green, a warm, spirited woman with a strong backbone and a tender heart. Their connection has grown naturally. The affection between them is clear. Chad seems lighter, more hopeful when he's with her. It's the kind of healing love that fans have been quietly cheering on. Next week, we're promised more intimate and meaningful moments between Chad and Kat. These scenes will showcase their growing emotional bond, moments that signal a possible turning point in their relationship. For a while, it will look like love is truly winning again. But in Salem, peace is always temporary. Warning: enter Gwen Rizek, a tornado from the past. Gwen's sudden return is set to drop like a bombshell. Scheduled to appear on Tuesday's episode, possibly teased on Monday, Gwen's reappearance is anything but subtle. She'll catch Chad off guard, showing up out of the blue with that signature smug grin and a suspiciously sweet, happy Independence Day. When Gwen walks into the Horton house and into Chad's line of sight, everything begins to change. Julie Williams, never one to hold back her thoughts, will be absolutely stunned to see Gwen, and likely not in a pleasant way. But Gwen? She'll take pleasure in the chaos she causes. After all, causing friction is Gwen's specialty. And it doesn't end there. The trailer reveals Gwen sharing a passionate kiss with Xander Kyriakis, suggesting she has multiple irons in the fire. Her motives are unclear, but the message is obvious: Gwen didn't return to quietly fade into the background. She's here to make waves. Angry face. Kat's jealousy ignites, and it's not without reason. From the moment Gwen reappears, Kat's insecurities begin to surface. And who could blame her? Gwen isn't just a ghost from Chad's past. She's a woman who once knew him deeply, who once shared his secrets, his pain, and his passion. Their history is messy, complicated, and far from over. For Kat, watching another woman, especially one as bold and unpredictable as Gwen, reinsert herself into Chad's life brings out fear, jealousy, and doubt. Even if Chad insists he's over Gwen, Kat can feel the tension. The way Chad looks at Gwen, the way his voice shifts when he talks to her, those are the details that stick with someone. They dig under the skin and whisper, maybe he's not as over her as he says. This isn't just petty jealousy. This is emotional self-preservation. Kat has been building something fragile with Chad. Gwen's presence feels like a wrecking ball. Magnifying glass tilted left. Why Gwen could destroy Chad and Kat's relationship. Let's explore some compelling reasons why Gwen's return could realistically end the relationship. 1. Emotional luggage. Reopened. Chad never fully resolved his emotions with Gwen. Their history is messy and unfinished. Gwen showing up out of nowhere could reopen old wounds and unresolved feelings. 2. Trust will crumble. Kat may begin to feel Chad is hiding things from her, even if unintentionally. The smallest gesture or look could make Kat question Chad's loyalty. 3. Gwen's manipulation. Gwen has always known how to manipulate situations to her advantage. If she wants Chad, or even just wants to stir chaos, she knows exactly which emotional buttons to push. 4. Cat may walk away first. Cat is strong. She's not the type to cling to a man who seems torn between two women. If she feels like she's second place, she may end things before Chad even realizes what's happening. 5. Gwen's ulterior motives. Don't forget, Gwen has angles. If she senses that driving a wedge between Chad and Cat helps her achieve some larger plan, she won't hesitate. Brain for the fans. Emotional realism matters for longtime Days of Our Lives viewers, especially those over 65. You know that the heart is complicated, and love triangles are more than just entertainment. They echo real emotional dilemmas: trust, loss, second chances, and fear of abandonment. Watching Chad try to love again while haunted by his past. That resonates. Seeing Cat struggle with jealousy? That's deeply human. This storyline reminds us that love in Salem isn't just about kisses and candlelight dinners. It's about forgiveness, boundaries, and choosing to fight, or walk away. Pushpin. What comes next? Will Chad defend his relationship with Cat, or will Gwen pull him back in? Will Cat confront Gwen? Could we see a full-blown showdown? Is Gwen truly here for Chad? Or is he just one part of her larger game? And most importantly, will love survive the storm Gwen has brought with her? Memo. Final thoughts. In a town like Salem, love is rarely safe, and the past never stays buried. Gwen's return is a classic Days of Our Lives twist, perfectly timed, emotionally rich, and destined to stir the pot. For Chad and Cat, the coming days will test everything they've built. And for viewers, it's a chance to watch another unforgettable chapter unfold in the saga of hearts that love, hurt, and sometimes break. Next, Days of Our Lives, the roller coaster romance of Alex and Stephanie in Salem. In the ever-shifting sands of Salem, where love and betrayal dance a complicated waltz, few couples have captured hearts quite like Alex Kyriakis and Stephanie Johnson. Their story, woven into the fabric of Days of Our Lives, is a saga of fiery passion, devastating heartbreak, and the stubborn hope that keeps pulling them back together. As we dive into the drama of mid-2025, Alex and Stephanie's romance is once again at the forefront, brimming with secrets, second chances, and the promise of something lasting. For fans who followed their journey, this week's episodes are a must-watch, filled with the kind of emotional twists that make Salem so unforgettable. Let's take a deep dive into their story, from their first sparks to the challenges threatening their love today. A spark ignites. How Alex and Stephanie found each other. It all began in 2022, when Alex Kyriakis, portrayed with magnetic charm by Robert Scott Wilson, swaggered into Salem with a reputation as a ladies' man and a mischievous glint in his eye. Alex was the kind of man who turned heads, confident, charismatic, and just a little dangerous. Enter Stephanie Johnson, played with grace and grit by Abigail Klein, a Salem native with a fierce independent streak and deep roots in the town's history. Stephanie wasn't one to fall for smooth talkers, and at first, Alex's charm only earned her raised eyebrows and a skeptical smile. Their early encounters were a delightful mix of flirtation and friction. Picture them at a bustling Titan Industries event, Alex flashing his signature grin while Stephanie countered with sharp wit, unimpressed by his bravado. He saw her as a challenge, a woman whose strength and intelligence matched his own. She, on the other hand, found him arrogant, impulsive, and far too sure of himself. But fate, as it often does in Salem, had other plans. When they started working together at Titan, the walls between them began to crumble. Late nights at the office revealed a softer side to Alex, a vulnerability that caught Stephanie off guard. Beneath his polished exterior was a man wrestling with his own insecurities, and Stephanie couldn't help but feel a pull toward him. Their chemistry was undeniable, like a spark igniting dry kindling. What started as playful banter grew into something deeper, a connection built on shared ambitions and quiet moments of understanding. For fans, it was a thrill to watch these two strong-willed souls find common ground, setting the stage for a romance that would both captivate and devastate. A love tested, betrayal and heartbreak for a time, Alex and Stephanie seemed like Salem's golden couple. Their romance blossomed with stolen kisses in the Titan boardroom and romantic dinners under the stars in Horton Square. But in Salem, happiness is often a fleeting guest, and Alex's flaws soon cast a shadow over their love. His jealousy, a simmering undercurrent in his personality, became a storm that neither could weather. The breaking point came during one of the darkest moments in Stephanie's life. Her mother, Kayla Johnson, beloved by all of Salem and portrayed with warmth by Mary Beth Evans, was gravely ill. Stephanie was consumed with worry, clinging to every moment with her mother. Meanwhile, Alex's insecurities flared. He grew jealous of Stephanie's close friendship with Chad DiMera, a bond rooted in shared history and trust. In a moment of reckless desperation, Alex made a choice that would haunt him. He turned off Stephanie's phone, blocking a call from Chad that she believed carried her mother's final goodbye. The betrayal was shattering. Imagine Stephanie's anguish as she realized she'd missed what she thought was her last chance to hear her mother's voice. The pain was raw, cutting deep into her heart. She confronted Alex, her eyes blazing with hurt and fury, and ended their relationship without hesitation. For Alex, the consequences were devastating. Even though Kayla miraculously recovered, the damage was done. Stephanie walked away, and soon after, she found solace in Chad's arms, leaving Alex to grapple with his guilt and loneliness. This moment was a gut punch for fans, a reminder of how quickly love can unravel in system, turn to heartbreak in days of our lives. For those of us who've been tuning in for years, the saga of Alex Kyriakis and Stephanie Johnson is one of those stories that keeps us glued to our screens, with all the passion, pain, and possibility that define life in Salem. Let's dive into the details of their tumultuous journey, from their first electric meeting to the challenges threatening their rekindled romance in mid-2025. The spark that started it all, Alex and Stephanie's first meeting. Picture Salem in 2022. A town buzzing with secrets and schemes, where new faces can change everything. That's when Alex Kyriakis, played with roguish charm by Robert Scott Wilson, strode into town. With his tailored suits, confident grin, and a reputation as a ladies' man, Alex was a force to be reckoned with. Then there was Stephanie Johnson, portrayed by the radiant Abigail Klein, a Salem native with a sharp mind and a heart full of determination. Stephanie, with her deep ties to the town's legacy, wasn't about to fall for Alex's smooth-talking ways, not at first, anyway. Their early encounters were like a dance, full of playful tension. Imagine them at a Titan Industries gala, Alex flashing that disarming smile while Stephanie, unimpressed, fired back with her quick wit. He saw her as a puzzle to solve, a woman whose strength and smarts matched his own. She thought him cocky, impulsive, maybe even a little reckless. But when they started working side by side at Titan, something shifted. Late nights poring over spreadsheets revealed Alex's softer side, a man carrying the weight of his family's expectations, yearning to prove himself. Stephanie, despite herself, was drawn to this glimpse of vulnerability, and a spark ignited between them. Those first moments were electric, setting the stage for a romance that would burn bright and break hearts. For fans, watching these two strong personalities clash and connect was like watching a storm brew, beautiful, unpredictable, and impossible to look away from. Love and loss, a romance torn apart for a while, Alex and Stephanie were Salem's golden couple. Picture them stealing kisses in the Titan boardroom, their laughter echoing through the halls, or sharing quiet dinners under the twinkling lights of Horton Square. Their chemistry was undeniable, a fire that promised to burn forever. But in Salem, love is never simple, and Alex's jealousy soon cast a dark cloud over their happiness. The turning point came during a crisis that shook Stephanie to her core. Her mother, Kayla Johnson, played with heartfelt warmth by Mary Beth Evans, was battling a life-threatening illness. Stephanie was consumed with fear, clinging to every moment with her mother. Meanwhile, Alex's insecurities flared. He couldn't shake his jealousy over Stephanie's close friendship with Chad DiMera, a bond built on years of trust. In a moment of desperation, Alex made a choice that would define their story. He turned off Stephanie's phone, blocking a call from Chad that she believed was her mother's final farewell. The betrayal cut deep. Imagine Stephanie's anguish as she realized she'd missed what she thought was her last chance to say goodbye to Kayla. Her pain was raw, her trust in Alex shattered. In a confrontation filled with tears and fury, she ended their relationship, leaving Alex to drown in regret. Even though Kayla pulled through, the damage was irreparable. Stephanie turned to Chad for comfort, and Alex was left alone, haunted by the consequences of his actions. For fans, this was a heart-wrenching moment, a reminder that love in Salem is as fragile as it is fierce. A flame rekindled. A second chance for love, but in Salem, love has a way of lingering, like a melody you can't forget. By early 2025, after a brief and ill-fated romance with Joy Wesley, Alex Ann Hopkins, Alex found himself face-to-face with Stephanie again. A chance encounter at the hospital led to a kiss that reawakened old feelings, a moment of hope amidst the chaos of Salem. Picture them in the sterile hospital corridor, the air charged with unspoken words, their lips meeting in a rush of emotion that promised a new beginning. Yet, Salem's drama never sleeps. Joy, Alex's recent flame, witnessed the kiss and dropped a bombshell: she might be pregnant with his child. The news hit like a thunderbolt, complicating Alex and Stephanie's fragile reunion. The specter of a love triangle loomed, threatening to tear them apart before they could rebuild. But Alex and Stephanie, battle-tested by their past, refused to let go. They faced the tension head-on, determined to forge a stronger bond, one built on hard-won trust and shared dreams. Secrets and struggles, new challenges emerged just when it seemed they might find solid ground. Another secret shook their world. Stephanie uncovered a shocking deception: Philip Kyriakis, Jean-Paul Lavoisier, and his mother, Vivienne Louise Sorel, had forged a letter from the late Victor Kyriakis, falsely granting Philip control of Titan Industries. Stephanie held on to this explosive truth, wrestling with when and how to tell Alex. When she finally confessed, the revelation stung, but Alex's love for her held firm. Imagine the weight of that moment, Stephanie's voice trembling as she shared the truth, Alex's eyes searching hers, choosing forgiveness over anger. Now, as partners in both love and business at Titan, Alex and Stephanie are navigating a delicate balance. The threat of Joy's possible pregnancy lingers like a storm cloud, and the fallout from the forged letter casts a long shadow. Yet, their bond grows stronger, rooted in shared resilience and a commitment to face whatever comes next together. For fans, their journey is a testament to the power of second chances, a story that resonates with anyone who's ever fought to rebuild something broken. Why we can't get enough of Alex and Stephanie. Alex and Stephanie aren't just another soap opera couple, they're a mirror to the highs and lows of love itself. Their story in Days of Our Lives has evolved from flirty beginnings to gut-wrenching betrayal to a hard-earned reconnection that feels real and raw. They challenge each other, lift each other up, and grow together, making their romance one of the most compelling in Salem. Whether it's Alex's struggle to tame his impulsive heart or Stephanie's determination to honor her values, their journey speaks to the messiness and beauty of love. For those of us who've watched Days through the years, Alex and Stephanie remind us of the relationships that shape our lives, the ones that test us, break us, and ultimately make us stronger. Their story is a roller coaster, and we're all along for the ride, cheering for their happiness while bracing for the next twist. What's next for Salem's star-crossed lovers? In Salem, nothing is certain except the promise of more drama. As Alex and Stephanie fight for their future, questions swirl like leaves in a storm. Will Joy's pregnancy claim upend their plans, or will they face it as a united front? Can they protect Titan from the fallout of Philip and Vivienne's scheme? And most importantly, will their love withstand the secrets and surprises that Salem always has in store? One thing's for sure, their story is far from over, and every episode brings us closer to finding out if they'll find the lasting happiness they deserve. So, Grab your favorite blanket, settle into your comfiest chair, and tune in to Days of Our Lives this week. Share your thoughts below. Do you think Alex and Stephanie are destined for forever, or will Salem's chaos pull them apart again? Let's talk about it, because in Salem, love is never simple, but it's always worth fighting for.